Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video in which we're going to be doing a full face of first impressions. Before we get into the video, if you're new here, I'm Jody. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. If you do enjoy it, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up while you're watching and consider subscribing if you'd like to see me again. For my returning YouTube friends, thank you so much for joining me for another video. Today I have a lot of different items to share with you. I would say the newest item is the eyeshadow palette from Charlotte Tilbury. This one is in the shade Super Neutral. And I've also got a primer from Milk Makeup, contour and concealer from Victoria Beckham. I've got skin tint from Ciele. I've got a bronzer from Lancome, highlighter from Hindash, Half Magic lip product, Dior lip pencil. I have a lot of goodies to play with. So if you'd like to see how they all came together to create this look, then let's go ahead and hit that rewind button so we can see how I created it. I have one goal with today's video, and that's to make my skin look good. I'm going to prime my lips with this lip balm from Cocokind. This was actually a gift with purchase during Ulta's Diamond Day at the beginning of February because they just had another one. It's nice. I like it okay. It doesn't have a fragrance. It doesn't have a shade, but it's really moisturizing. Check out Freddie getting comfortable over there. I want to prime with the Rituel, the Fille priming Thorn oil. Well, it's definitely rose. It smells so strongly of rose. I actually don't like the way that rose smells. But if this is going to make my skin look good, then we're going to go for it. My eyeshadow palette doesn't have a mirror, so I'm going to use the one from my bronzer. For my eyeshadow primer today, I'm going to start with the Sigma eyeshadow base primer, and I have mine in the shade Ignite. I have a lot of discoloration on my eyelids, so I want to apply a good amount. It blended in quite nicely. I wasn't sure if it was going to dry down quickly, so I figured I would blend that one before applying to the other eye. For today's look, I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury, the brand new Charlotte's palette of Beautifying eye trends, and this one is in the shade Super Neutral. I just want to do like an everyday neutral bronzy eye. So I'm going to take this middle shade and I'm going to use it to semi-set my eyelid, even though honestly that eyeshadow base is totally dry already. I want this to be relatively neutral, so I think I'm going to take that shade just in the crease and in the outer corner, and then I'm going to make like a very soft liner with the shade. I'm taking shade number 3. Actually quite pigmented. I just want to use more of a rounded shape today. I've been seeing a lot of people use these palettes, and some of them are saying that the mattes are a little bit more difficult to work with. So far I don't feel I'm experiencing that, but we'll see. I use the Denim Dimension. Is that what it's called? Denim Dream maybe? The blue palette. I've used that one already and I thought it was nice. The two palettes that I wanted the most initially were this one that I'm using today, just so that I have something work appropriate, something that I can get a lot of use out of. And then the other one was the green palette, of course. Green is my favorite eyeshadow color to wear. So I purchased both of them as soon as they became available on the Sephora website. I did have about, Phoebe and Freddie are playing right there. Anyway, I bought them when they became available on the Sephora website, and I had like a $5 credit card reward which I applied to the purchase, but then silly me, I have so many Ulta Beauty rewards points. I could have just used that, and there was something else, like I think they were having like extra points, or no, they had the $20 off a $100 purchase, with 2 of these palettes would have been, they're $60 a piece. So then I started watching, I think her channel name is Han101. Her name is Hannah, and I was watching her videos. She used all the palettes, bless her heart. She did one look on each eye using all of the shades. And I was like, you know, those palettes look pretty nice. They are limited edition too. So who knows if, you know, they'll sell out and if Charlotte Tilbury will bring them back or not. I'm going to take a little bit more of that original number 2 shade on this brush just to diffuse the edges a little bit more. Anyway, so then I started getting FOMO about the other palettes. So I went ahead and I did use that strategy on Ulta Beauty. So I used the $20 off a $100 purchase. And on top of that, I cashed in $50 in points. So essentially, I got the palettes there for $25 a piece. And then I also had Beautylish points because of those expensive Wayne Goss brushes I had bought. And so I was able to do a similar thing at Beautylish. I had $40 in rewards points. So then I got that palette for about $20. And then I figured, you know, while I'm at it, I have $20 at Nordstrom too, and they have them on Nordstrom as well. So I picked up 5 of the 6 palettes. Long story short, I didn't pick up the violet one. I picked up all the others, including the pink one, which is so funny since I was just filming everything I bought in January, and I was mentioning how I don't like to wear pink eyeshadow that much. I just don't think it suits my eyes too much. Sometimes I have a tendency to look a little bit sick if I wear eyeshadows like that, but yeah, I went ahead and I bought it anyway. It was Hannah's video because she made more of a cranberry look. Cranberry is different than pink. Okay, so this palette has 2 crystal chromes, which are these 2 shades, and then a diamond dimension. So I believe that the crystal chrome shades are more of a topper shade. So I'm going to try this diamond dimension in the center, and then this crystal chrome so I can figure out which one I want to wear. Those 2 swatches. Very different, actually. I'm trying to remember which one was which. I think this was the Diamond Dimension shade, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that one. And for the most part, I just want to apply this color all over the lid, including over some of that matte shadow that we already put down. This is applying super easily, even with the brush. I really like the way that's looking. It's kind of like a soft glam look. And the shadow is applying really nicely. I'm not seeing any fallout. Maybe a little bit over here. I don't see any on this side, but because I'm right-handed, I always have an easier time with my right eye anyway. Once I have to crisscross, you know, it's not as good on this side. That's okay, no problem. That's why I decided to do my eyeshadow first. Because it's looking a little bit smoky, I think I want to switch gears and use a darker shade instead. Actually, before I go changing my mind, I'm going to try that one, and if it's not dark enough, then I will go for the other one. I think that's dark enough. I really don't want to go for a winged out shape. I just wanted to have a little bit of definition in the outer corner. And I do want to top it off with that shade just in the center of the lid. I'm just going to use my finger to apply that one. Wow, that shade is so nice. You can definitely see the difference between the 2. I really like that. Really happy with that way the eyes are looking. So now let's go ahead and move to the complexion. I'm determined that today's base has to look good, so I'm going to use this Milk Makeup. It's the Hydro Grip and Glow Primer. My daughter received this in gratis, and she passed it on to me, so let's give it a try. I put some on my mixing palette. It's pretty thick consistency. It kind of has like an alcohol smell maybe. I'm not sure. I just washed my hands to take any shimmers off my fingers, and so I can't tell right now. I'm going to apply it on a BK Beauty brush. I have been fighting with the Dior foundation stick so much lately, and I have to have a glowy base. I need to go back to my own roots of having a glowy base. My skin is really, really dry. I kind of look like a Tin Man right now, or a Gold Man. Did you all see that there's Milk Makeup at Ulta Beauty now? How cool is that? This isn't going to look too appealing on my palette, but that's how I use about almost everything that I pumped out. It is adhering to my skin really well, but you know, I don't feel the tacky base that I would feel when I wore the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. There's no tackiness actually at all. She also got this Rare Beauty highlighter. It's the Liquid Luminizer, and it's in the shade Flaunt. It's a little bit dark for me, so I'm going to apply it underneath my foundation. We've got a lot of glow going on. These dry kind of quickly, so I imagine they probably will apply well over makeup. My nose is glowing. Oh my gosh. I really overdid it on the nose. Probably on the chin too. Yeah, these dry down pretty quickly actually. You can see the glow. It's very, very gold. So it's just a little bit deep for my skin tone. For foundation, I want to use this one by Ciele. It is the Tinted Serum SPF 50. I picked up the shade number 4 Light Medium. It's got mineral SPF. That's what the bottle looks like. Give it a good shake. Okay, so this is going to be a dropper bottle as well. So that was 1 dropper full. I'm just going to start with that. Actually seems to go quite a long way. Just spread this all over. I haven't done my brows yet. Usually I do my brows off camera before I start to do my makeup. But then I feel that I can't, you know, like really get into my eyebrows with my complexion product. And then it just creates, you know, possibility for streakiness and for you to see the boundary between. So it doesn't have a lot of coverage. And I think that the color is okay. I'm just pressing it into the skin right now, and I will go over it with a sponge just to make sure that I pick up any excess product. It has the consistency of the MAC Face and Body, or what do they call it now? Face Radiance, something like that. It has that same consistency, but this one I feel like it's a little bit hydrating somehow. I definitely am not going to be needing any more, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that away. I think I'm going to use a little bit of my setting spray, on my sponge to rehydrate the foundation just a little bit. So here's how one layer of the foundation is looking like. The shade match I think is pretty good. It's not as hydrating as I would have liked, you know, especially considering I put this over Thorn oil, but I feel that the Milk makeup actually, like, not that it dried out my skin, but it fully dries. It doesn't leave a sticky base or anything. My skin just felt super dry as opposed to, you know, tacky and moisturized. It was dry to the touch. Even this is dry to the touch. So I don't think that it's going to require any powdering really. But that's where we are. It looks better than the Dior stick foundation, so we're already in better shape. I'm just going to take a quick break to get my brows on. Brows aren't on, and when I went off camera to use my magnifying mirror, I saw a spot I had on my nose. We got rid of the spot. So that's what the skin is looking like. I think it looks pretty skin-like. The spots where I can definitely tell that there's dryness is right here. Right, I can see the texture in my skin. But let's go ahead and move on to concealer. I've got this one by Victoria Beckham and Augustinus Bader. This is supposed to be like a pretty lightweight concealer. I don't know if it's going to be strong enough for me. I picked up the shade LM1. So it's got one of those little brush applicators. Let's take a look. We're finally starting to get a little bit of product. So let's go ahead and apply it. I kind of want to let it sit on my eyes a little bit. It's a little bit darker of a shade than I typically would purchase, but I think it should be fine. Because it's serum-y, hopefully it will rehydrate. Just gonna let it sit for a little bit. And I'll move on to the contour. This one is by Victoria Beckham as well. It's the Contour Stylus. And I picked up the shade Marble. I've been using the Dior contour stick recently, so we'll see how this one works. The packaging is so nice. Her packaging always is. This is the one reason why I thought this contour would be really good, because you don't get a lot of product, but for the nose, we'll try that much and see how we do. It's going on really creamy, so I'm thinking it should blend out really well. I'm using the Sonia G Smooth Buffer for that. I'm just using pressing motions, and it is blending out quite nicely. It's a little bit more red than I would normally go for, but it should be okay. It looks a lot more intense in the mirror. I got it right, I was going to say right in the hollow of my cheeks, but I don't have a hollow. But it's right on the bone, right on that bone where it should be. It's blending out really nicely, huh? Blend out here. Blends out really easily. Super easily. I'm barely putting any tension. Let's apply a little bit here. It blends out super easily. The only thing that I have that blends more easily is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand, actually, but that's liquid, so it's not even like comparable. This is a cream. Very nice. So let's see what's happening with a concealer. I feel like I let it sit just a tad longer. Just a tad longer than I would have liked. But it looks very nice. If I were to buy it again, I would purchase it the next shade lighter than this one. I do have a powder to try, also courtesy of my daughter. How many things am I trying that she gave me? I had the Rare Beauty, the Milk Makeup. Okay, well, the Tarte powder is the last item from the things that she gave me that she received in gratis. This one is the lavender one, which again is not necessarily the shade I would have chosen, but I know that Teresa's dad loves this powder, but she's a lot lighter than me. I like the component already. It's got that mesh inside, so it's not too messy. Make sure I've got all creases out. And I'm also being really careful to make sure that it is relatively dry. Ooh, so I picked up way too much product. I'm going to tap that on the back of my hand because I don't want to over apply. It does have a really nice texture to it, I must say. It's very silky feeling. Very nice, very silky feeling. So far, I'm impressed with the powder, and I feel like, you know, the color is not too bad on me. I'm not sure how it would do with flashback, but so far, it's pretty good. And I applied just a very small amount. The concealer was a little bit on the darker side too, so I think it's fine. Let's go back into the palette and finish out the eyes. I think I'm just going to apply this shade underneath the lower lash line, and then a little bit of that diamond, what is it called? Diamond Dimension. That finish is gorgeous. A little bit along the lower lash line, and then maybe this one in the inner corner. Let's see how that one looks. Very metallic-y, right? Very silvery. This is a topper type shade only. Maybe I'll apply the other one on my inner corner because I really want a brighter inner corner. This would be a really nice lid topper though. You know, kind of like Urban Decay Space Cowboy. It doesn't have a lot of base to it. So let's just go ahead with that shade number 8. I'm going to take the same brush and that coppery shade. That finish is called Crystal Chrome, which to me it's kind of, you know, like a foiled shade. Very nice, but I want to carry some of this to the lower lash line. And then actually I'm going to use the matte shade as an inner corner highlight. And then maybe I'll put some of the topper, I'm not sure. Let's first see how it'll look. I think that actually looks quite nice. It doesn't always have to be a shimmery shade on the inner corner. A matte shadow can do just as much brightening. And then also I feel that that keeps the attention on the center of the lid where we put that metallic shadow. I'm going to use just a small amount of this initial crease shade along the lower lash line just to bring everything together. I'm going to use Victoria Beckham's Cocoa eyeliner. This is not new. I did buy a new mascara that I saw someone using in a Get Ready With Me. This one is the one by Refy, and it's the Lash Sculpt Mascara. I picked mine up in the shade Black, and the reason why I had to buy this is because of the wand. Wait till you see the wand on this mascara. It is so different. And then when I saw the result it had on her eyes, it's a chubby tube. Wait till you see this wand. It's all about the wand. Look at this. It's like a hook. I don't know, I'm a little nervous. Supposedly there's a learning curve with this, but let's take a look. Definitely a learning curve because I just stabbed myself. I'll tell you what, I'm loving the separation, and there is no clumpiness whatsoever. What do you think? That's just one coat. That's really crazy. Question is, am I going to be able to do the other eye? I'm going to let this one dry and see how it builds. Here's nothing. I think the trick, oops, I stabbed myself again. I think the trick is to keep the wand for the most part kind of facing your eye and just lift up like any mascara, right? But no, there's something to that curvature. I feel like I'm able to get the product closer. See, but now I want to work on it this way. They do look pretty even. It seems to be curling my lashes. I didn't curl my lashes, obviously, but I'm going to try another coat. This is really different. I think it needs to come with an instruction manual. Let me see if it says anything. It says it's simplifying beauty. That's about it. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to try for coat number 2. And I stabbed myself again. What do you think? I mean, I think that's pretty good, especially the little lashes on the inside. I'm not getting crazy length, but you know, you do have really nice separation. I wonder if I should have, oh, yes. You can definitely flip it upside down and comb through your lash. So, okay, there's no wand like this one. I'm gonna try applying another coat to the other eye, hopefully not stab myself. You know, obviously there's going to be a learning curve with this, but I think they're onto something. It's hard to get it back in the tube too since it's angled. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to apply some liner, tight line a little bit. Hopefully my eyes don't start watering because I already stabbed myself a couple times, but I feel like I need the definition. Yeah, that looks so much better because I had so much separation at the lash line. This side looks better, but I think that handedness is going to play a role. All right, let's leave the eyes alone for now. I mean, for good, we're done. There's nothing else to do with the eyes. Let's do some bronzer. I've been using the bronzer as my mirror. This one is by Lancome. I think this came out towards the end of last year. This is another one of those products that I was saying, you know, it was in a lot of people's favorites videos. Here's what it looks like. Hopefully the shade isn't too light for me. I don't think so. It's a little bit warm. Let's start at the forehead. I didn't powder the foundation, but honestly, it's like it's completely dry to the touch. The foundations that I typically love, they stay pretty dewy. I think the shade is pretty good. I picked mine up in the shade number 2 light, and I think their shade range actually looked really nice when I was looking at it in the store. I think they have 6 shades, and so yeah, pretty good. It's a really nice shade. I like that it's matte. I love a glowy bronzer, but I also love a matte bronzer. I think that for evening and for photography, sometimes matte products look a little bit better. The eyes look so good. The mascara. This eye, it's not that good, but this eye is really, really good. I think that brought a really nice warmth to my face. What do you think? Such pretty packaging too, right? Really elegant. I have like a cream blush to use, so let's do the highlighter next. I have one of the Hindash highlighters. This one is in the shade Doll Dynasty. It is Pink Champagne Shimmer. Here's what that looks like. I don't know if you'll be able to see. The gradient is kind of hard to see on camera, but it's definitely there. It kind of goes from a darker, like peachy pink to more of a champagne color over here. I think for today I'll just mix it since it's my first time using it. Yeah, I'm just kind of going across. Let's see, did we pick up any product? This brush could potentially be too soft to pick it up. And then remember, my face is completely dry, so there's nothing really sticking to it. Let's go to the blush first, and then we'll come back to the highlighter because the blush is a cream product, so that'll give us something for it to stick to. So this is by Fwee. It's a blurring pudding hot. So this is in the shade Boy. Okay, this is a K-Beauty product, and the packaging is so cute. There's the shade. Luckily, everything is so neutral that I don't think it's going to be any problem using this shade. So how shall we apply? I think I'll just put my finger. Ooh, it's squishy. It's squishy and bouncy. Interesting. Ooh, that's kind of intense, right? Oh, but it blends pretty easily. Let's see. We'll use a sponge to blend it out. It is blending, but it's kind of blending exactly where I placed it rather than spreading outward. So I'm going to apply a little bit more. The consistency is so funny. Oops, I didn't even blend this one up. All right, let me start over here because I hadn't touched that one yet. It blends really nicely. It's a little bit bright for this look, but you know what? It's still a very nice blush. I don't think the highlighter is going to stick to this actually. I think I'm going to have to put like some setting spray. How nicely that blends out. That was really fun. I bought these on Stylovana, but I think you can also pick them up on Yes Style, and then they also have a shop on Amazon. You know, we hate Amazon, but we love Amazon. So back to this highlighter. There it is on my finger, so it definitely picks up. Let's try it again. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Definitely can see it now. I think maybe I just needed to, like if it had an overspray or something, because when I put my finger in it, suddenly it started picking up on the brush much better. I kind of did that on the lighter side. So I'm going to try to go all over. Let me swatch the other side. Yeah, see, the other side is more pinky. I have two options for my lip color. One of them is by Half Magic, and I got this as a gift with purchase from Ulta Beauty. I purchased some of their single shadows, and this is a soft matte lip cream. It's kind of a very rich brown. It would go with the look, but it's a little bit intense. But I have been wanting to try it, and I'll have to report back on this for my February haul, so maybe I should use that. But I also have this lipstick from Dior. It's been in my collection for a while, so I don't know when these came out. I don't know if they're still available, but I've never used it. And this is the shade. It is number 300. There's no name on that. Let's see. Forever Nude Style. There is a name on that. There it goes. They're not that different in color. So I will go ahead and I'll try the Half Magic, and we'll save the Dior for another day. The lip balm has stayed on this entire time really well. So this is their Mouth Cloud Soft Matte Lip Cream, and it is in the shade Magic Brownie. I do have a lip liner. This one is from Dior. I actually used this once before, and I realized it's a little bit dark, so I think it will go well with this lip color. It's the shade number 400 Nude Line. Andrea Lee, a French makeup artist here on YouTube, she said that these are the best lip liners, and so I wanted to give them a try. It's a pretty deep color, right? It's very soft. I would describe it going on the lips the way the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeliners go on the eyes. It came with a sharpener in the package as well. Oh, it's softening up really nice. It does have a little brush on the end. It's a pretty rich color. Let's apply the lip color and then we'll touch up if we need to. Hopefully this isn't super drying, because we've been doing pretty well with this makeup try-on so far, I would say. Very moussey color. It's a little warm for the eye look, but I think we can make it work. What do you think? You can definitely press your lips together and blend. It goes really well with the lip liner too. I'm going to fix my hair, spray with some setting spray, and yeah, I'll be back to share my final thoughts. I think we had a pretty good try on today. So this is the finished look. As I was fixing my hair, I was able to see that I could still see some of the Milk Makeup Primer through my foundation on my forehead. I never apply too much foundation on my forehead. It's not an area where I need a lot of coverage, so I can see kind of a shiny patch up there. But other than that, I would say that this Trying New Makeup went off without a hitch. let's go ahead and review some of the things. Let's see which ones were the real standout products. I gotta give it to this mascara. What an interesting wand. Hopefully you're able to see the result that it gave me. I only applied it to my top lashes. I don't even know how to begin to apply this to my bottom lashes, but it's a really interesting formula. I love the separation. I love that it's not clumpy. I like that it gives my lashes a little bit of a lift. I'm gonna have to keep using it obviously because there is definitely a learning curve, and this thing could be dangerous if you're not careful. But so far, I really like it. I'm also really impressed with the eyeshadow palette. This is the second one that I'm playing with so far. The first one I played with was the blue one, and so far I like this one better. And I would say I like it better because, for starters, it's a little bit more wearable, but I don't know, I just feel like the way that they picked out the colors, you could do something more glam like I'm wearing today, but you can also do something very simple and neutral. I just think this palette is really versatile, and so I think it's a good one. I'm really happy I got it. I love this shade here. Oh my gosh, the impact that it gives the eye look, even though I'm only wearing it kind of layered over the more metallic shade, the crystal chrome shade, you still could tell the difference when I'm applying it. I really like it. Not too much fallout. Really, really nice palette. I was also really entertained by this blush. It's so cute. Like, the packaging is really cute. It's really heavy and the texture is so interesting. And I just love the way that it applied. It didn't give me a shimmery finish. It was more of a matte finish. It blended out so well with just lightly tapping on it with my sponge. Really interesting product. I picked mine up in the shade Boy, but it does come in a lot of other different shades for you to try. Really interesting. Haven't tried anything like it before. Looking forward to playing with it some more. This powder was so interesting, the Tarte Creaseless Setting Powder. I don't even know if I said the name of the product. I'll have everything linked in the description box down below if you want to check anything out for yourself. But what an interesting powder. I really love how it gives my skin kind of that really silky, satiny feel. I really like it, and the shade turned out to be fine for my skin tone. Haven't tried it with flash photography, but so far I think it's really great. I would have never tried this if my daughter didn't receive it in gratis, because typically I hate powder, so I wait for those that have like the most excellent reviews and then I try those. Plus I have my foolproof powders that I use for powdering underneath my eyes, which is essentially the only place I really powder, but it was a really pleasant surprise. The Victoria Beckham Contour Wand was another really pleasant surprise. It's hard for me to recommend it because you get such little product and it's so expensive, but you really don't need a lot. If you like to contour your nose, this is great because you can just go right in and draw exactly where you want it. It blends out so easily, and I feel like I was able to achieve a really nice sculpted look with this shade. And again, my shade was Marble. Again, you don't get a lot of products, so it's hard for me to recommend it, and plus this is only a first impression, but so far I'm really liking that one. The lip liner from Dior was also really nice. The first time I ever wore this was my second impression of this one. The first time I wore it, I didn't love it just because it's such a deep shade, but for today's lip color, was it not perfect? Perfect, absolutely perfect. It's the shade number 400 Nude Line, and you do get a pencil sharpener with it, which is, always nice to have. It's a sharpenable pencil, one of those that feel more like plastic, but it's sharpenable just the same. I really liked it. Like I mentioned in the video, this is very similar to the Victoria Beckham eyeliners in lip liner form. So far I really like it. It's keeping the lip product in place. It's not feathering, it's not moving. I really like it so far. I think it's a nice one. The Victoria Beckham eyeliner was not a new thing, so you all know I love that already. The other items, I think I have to continue playing with them to establish an opinion, except for the bronzer. How lovely was this bronzer? It reminds me a lot of the YSL bronzer, so if you have that one already, then I don't think you necessarily need to pick this one up. It has a very similar finish. It's more of a matte, velvety finish. Really nice, applies really nicely, very soft to the touch, and it picks up really well on a brush. I think that the effect was really nice, and it does have a really nice shade range, but so does the YSL. So if you already have the YSL, I don't think you need this one, but if you were trying to decide between one or the other, maybe this one has more unique packaging? I don't know. The YSL is really cute too, so it's kind of hard to pick, but it was really nice. For the two priming steps that I used, I think the Milk Makeup, I'll have to play with it a little more, maybe apply it with my fingers to get a thinner application. And I think it was fine. I don't think it added a great deal of luminosity, but then again, I don't know what the finish of the foundation is without it, so I'll have to try everything kind of on its own to see how I really feel about it. These items just, I need a little bit more time to get to know them a little bit better. The shade match was pretty good for the Ciele. And I love a foundation that works on the first try. Despite using it with so many new products, I'm really happy with the way my skin looks right now. So the Ciele, I'm liking it so far. We'll report back. The Thorn oil, I was surprised at how much it actually dried down. Of course, I put it on and then I started doing my eyeshadow. So maybe next time I'll put it on right before applying the foundation and see how that works. Possibly using it underneath the Dior foundation stick. We'll see about that. The eyeshadow base was nice. I like the color. I feel like it blanked out my eyelid relatively well and it was easy to blend it out and blend eyeshadows on top of it. I didn't really set it, and so all the eyeshadows I was working with seemed to blend fine with it. Only time will tell if the eyeshadow is going to last for a while, if it won't crease, and so on. But so far, I really like it. With the concealer, I'm a little disappointed in the color. I think I would have liked maybe one shade lighter. But I also think that I let it sit on my eyes a little bit too long. So next time I'm going to try blending it right away and then see what the effect will be. And then as far as the skincare benefits, of course, that you only see over time. The Hindash highlighter was really nice too in Doll Dynasty. At first I didn't really see the highlight, but then once I sprayed my face down with setting spray, you could see it really well. And I think it's one that's blending with the other products on my face nicely. I don't think it's emphasizing texture. The color is good. And you have a little bit of variety since you do have that gradient. So you can get a couple of different shades from the one product. He does make a lighter version and also a deeper version. And lastly, the Half Magic liquid lipstick. Very nice. What shade was this again? Oh my goodness. Mouth Cloud, Magic Bronze. No, Magic Brownie. Oh my gosh, I had to get reading glasses. I can't see anything, but I'll have everything linked down below. My thoughts on this, very comfortable. I wouldn't say that it's as comfortable as the Lisa Eldridge liquid lipsticks because those retain like a little bit of movement when you press your lips together. This one, I don't feel as much movement. It feels a little more velvety to the touch and my lips aren't horribly dry. Of course, I did prep with a lip balm prior to applying the lipstick, but I think, it's been on for a while now. I think it's pretty good. You can definitely top it with gloss or something like that too for a different effect, and it went so well with the lip liner. It's like I planned it, which I didn't. I'm glad I got to try it because it's not something I would have gone out to purchase myself. Same with the Milk Makeup. I wouldn't have purchased this on my own. I would have purchased the Rare Beauty, but probably in a different shade. This one is a little bit on the deeper side for me, so probably I will always use this as a foundation mixer, and we'll see how it works that way. I think that was the quick rundown on everything that I used today. Let me know what you think of the final look. I am loving the eyeshadow. I think it's very nice and it was so easy to create too. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but the light catches on the sparkles really nice. It's a very nice effect. And because the colors are muted, it's not too much, not too much for any occasion. If you've tried any of the products I featured today, I'd love to hear what you think of them. And if you have any tips for me on application, I would also love to hear those as well. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if so, please don't forget that big thumbs up for me. It really helps my channel. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and the notification bell so that you are notified of all my future uploads. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your day with me. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon on my next one. Bye-bye.